Hey, what's up everyone? Johnny the Geek here. Welcome to It's Good to Be Geek. Today I'm going to be unboxing a motherboard and APU combo. Now these are two separate items that you would buy individually, right? You get charged for them both individually. They just happen to be in a combo deal that I got. So you can get this motherboard along with a different APU, or you can get this APU with a different motherboard, right? As long as it's compatible with each other. And so what motherboard do I have here? It is the Gigabyte AM1M S2H, right? This combo deal here was 70 bucks, which is a great deal because normally the APU here is $60. That's a regular price. And the motherboard here is about $35. That's a regular price, right? So it's 70 bucks. Regardless of how well it performs at $70, that's a pretty good deal. And a review of how well it performs, that's going to be in a later video, right? And so let's get right into the unboxing. I'm going to first unbox the APU here just because it's not very exciting. There's not a whole lot to it. And then we'll get to the motherboard, right? All right, so the APU that we're working with here is the AM1 5350, and so it is their top end APU. They have lower end models here. They have one more that's lower than this, that's branded the AMD Athlon, and this is a quad core APU, and it runs at, I believe, 2.05 gigahertz with a 2 megabyte of cache. They have one more underneath this that's a little bit less megahertz or gigahertz, sorry. And they have two that are Semprons, and I believe those are like single core processors. I'll have details in the description down below. So this is pretty much it. This is their high-end, top of the line AM1 processor. It also does come with integrated graphics here. You'll have to look that up or post that later. And so we'll just go ahead and cut this sucker open. See what we got here. And yes, it does come with the cooler, with the APU cooler, which is a tiny little thing. We'll look at this. And it's a new type of socket, or new type of connection or mounting system here. It's very different from the other APUs. So here are the two little mounts that you use. Press this into the motherboard right there. Okay, and then this is the actual cooler itself. This looks like one of those chipset coolers, and I'm not sure why there's four of these things, right? Maybe you got two different options. All right, so this tiny little thing here reminds me of like a old school chipset cooler, and then it comes pre-applied with thermal paste, which looks like there's some type of debris or gunk on it already. Quality control, unless I did that. I don't know, maybe my work area is not so clean, right? So that's that. And then now what's in the box here? It is a how-to guide on how to install it. Simple, straightforward set of information, instructions here. The fan connector is a 3-pin fan connector, not a 4-pin PWM, right? And then AMD Athlon sticker. All right, so the APU itself here, it's smaller than a normal size CPU or APU. Again, it's 25 watts, I believe it is. It's like as much as one of those incandescent light bulbs. That's how much power it takes, which is very little. It's the pinned variety, like all AMD APUs and CPUs. So you gotta be very careful, very delicate with this here. All right. And that's pretty much it for the APU. All right, so now we're on to the motherboard. And so on the front of the box here, you got just your normal identification of what's going on, what it has, some of the ultra durable and humidity protection using new fiberglass fabric PCBs, right? Low RDS MOSFETs, instant on ultra durable AM1 platform, socket FS1B, that's actually what the technical name of the socket is, right? Then we have some of the features here, and a lot of technical mumbo jumbo here, but honestly the cool stuff is right down here. Oh, wait a minute. Memory type is one channel DDR3, which is quite interesting. So you can just throw in like one single 8 gig stick of DDR3 memory here. It's only going to use one channel anyways, even if you put 2 sticks in here. I used to be worried that if I were to get the memory that I'd have to fill up both slots, and sometimes you see a good deal on an 8 gig stick, a single module, and you kind of want to just throw in a separate stick in there, or another memory module in there, just to have dual channel. But this one is a single channel, one channel DDR3, right? And so yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Just find the best deal on a single stick of memory, whatever it is that you can afford. If you want 4 or 8, I recommend at least 4, but I typically would like to use 8. All right, and so that's pretty much all of that info there. So we'll move on to opening this up, and it's a very bare minimum packaging here. We've got the I/O shield, then we have 2 SATA cables, one right angled, one straight regular SATA cable. Then we have the motherboard, which we'll take a look at. It's in this little cardboard. And then we have the user's manual. Here it gives you a general layout of what everything is, all the parts, all the ports, right? Safety stuff. And then the Gigabyte CD with all the drivers and some utilities in there, bloatware, pretty much. All right, so here we have the motherboard. Go ahead and open this up. And we have a PCI by 4 slot here. As you can sort of tell, this right here is, you can see the little pins connections, that it only goes up to there, so it's a by 4 slot. So putting a full-size graphics card in here might not be worth it. I mean, you could put something, I guess, that's not very powerful, just something extra that you have laying around if you want, but this really isn't meant to be adding a powerful graphics card into. And then you got 2 PCI Express 1 slots here, and you have a system fan header here and here, and you have 2 SATA ports here, 2 drives. That's the only thing that you can add in here. So if you want, you could add in more drives by installing some RAID cards or SATA, extra SATA port cards right into here, or the 4x speed. And then we have the 24-pin power connector here. No need for a 4-pin. Oh, there is actually, here it is, 4-pin, right? And then the 2 memory slots, the socket, of course, and that's pretty much it. It has the standard layout here of USB headers, front panel connectors, audio connectors, and then we have the input output, 2 legacy PS2 connectors, VGA, HDMI, 2 USB 3.0 ports, and then 2 USB 2.0 ports, Gigabit Ethernet, and then audio. So you could, you know, in fact, add a, if you plan on making this a home theater system, add a beefier sound card to this, because the sound card on here probably is not so great. Alright, so that pretty much concludes this unboxing. If you want to check out the build guide for this that I'll be doing in the near future, definitely subscribe to my other channel, which is youtube.com/johnnythegeek, and links to that, of course, will be in the description. Links to this actual product here will also be in the description in case you want to check that out. As in terms of the review, if I do end up making a review of this particular system, its performance, how well it runs, subscribe to this channel, which is youtube.com/itsgoodtobegeek. All right, and as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.